Hare Krishna, welcome everyone again to our Bhagavad Gita overview. So thank you for joining. We are on ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So this ninth chapter, this is the most confidential knowledge chapter entitled. And this chapter is the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita. And we discussed yesterday how this chapter describes the essence of the essence of the essence. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the scriptures. Essence of Bhagavad Gita is the middle six chapters, and the essence of middle six chapters is the ninth chapter, the middle chapter of the middle six chapters. That is the ninth chapter. So in this ninth chapter, we discussed how Krishna in the beginning, he tells Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, please hear about my glories." And then he started describing his opulence. He described how he creates, manifests, destroys, and maintains this material creation. Then he described how there are some people who do not worship him. And these people are the Devatas, and these people are not Devata, these people are demigod worshippers. These people are worshippers of the Vishwarupa form, and these people are worshippers of impersonal Brahman, that is Brahmavadis. Before that, he has described there are some people who deride his form. These are Mayavadis. So after describing all these, Krishna describes how in this last verse we discussed that Krishna is describing about demigod worshippers, that these people, although they reach the higher planets of the heaven, still they come down again to this material world. Shine punya marte lokam vishanti. Material world means earthly planets. And then after describing this, now Krishna starts describing the most sweet pastimes and sweet dealings of Krishna with his devotees, how he protects his devotees, how he provides everything for his devotees. And this is a very famous verse which is coming in Bhagavad Gita. Ananyashyantayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nitya abhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, Ananyah chintayanto. Ananya means those who do perform exclusive devotion unto him. Chintayanto mam, with exclusive devotion, always thinking about Krishna. Ye janaha pariyupasate, those who worship him with faith. Tesham nitya abhyuktanam, because they are always engaged in this way, Krishna does two things for them. Yogakshemam and Vahami aham. Yogakshema means he provides, and Vahami means he protects. So protection and provision, these are the two assurances of Krishna. So Krishna provides whatever devotee lacks, and he protects whatever a devotee has. So this Vahami aham is a personal responsibility. I carry what my devotee lacks. So that is a personal responsibility of the Lord. So when Krishna is saying Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, whoever remembers me, this is not a business deal. It is a reciprocation of love. So Krishna is saying those who love him, he also loves them. So this is how Krishna is showing his heart in this verse of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. This is the slogan of LIC, Life Insurance Company. This is the slogan, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. But actually real life insurance is the insurance that we will attain eternal life, and it is provided only by Krishna. It can be provided not by anyone else. It can be only provided by Krishna. And this protection may not be on the physical level. Although Krishna may protect our material bodies, but in this verse, Krishna is assuring that I definitely protect the spiritual body of my devotee. Krishna also takes care of the material needs. It is not that Krishna is just a cruel God and he just takes care of the material spiritual aspect without taking care of the material aspect. But a devotee does not demand that. By coming to Krishna consciousness, we should know why we are coming to Krishna. We are coming to Krishna to serve him and to please him. And if Krishna willing, if Krishna wants, if he so desires, he will protect our physical material bodies also. For example, Krishna provided everything for Srila Prabhupada. He went to America with 40 rupees. He had no contacts, nothing. He had just 3 trunks of books, and he had brought few bags of some potatoes and rice, and he had no idea from where he'll get his meal after all these stock gets finished. So Krishna provided Prabhupada everything. So somebody may think, Arey, Prabhupada was a pure devotee. So is it only for pure devotees? Is Krishna interested only in protecting the pure devotees? No, not necessarily. We have to understand that we have to think in practical terms also, and we have to not think only in practical terms. When Krishna is saying, I protect my devotees, that means leave everything to Krishna. No. We have to take care of the practical needs, but at the same time, we should depend on Krishna also. Just like the Damodar Leela, endeavor and mercy both are required. We have to endeavor to the best of our capacity and depending on Krishna's mercy. If Krishna willing, Krishna will give mercy, and Krishna is there for every devotee. And as we go in the further verses, we'll see how Krishna is personal. He's personally taking care of every devotee, whoever he may be, a neophyte devotee or a pure devotee. So therefore, Krishna is a very, very loving God, and is personally involved in lives of every one of us. And in 2.40 also Krishna said, Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. So in this path, O Arjuna, there is no loss or diminution. So therefore, we have to understand Krishna is there protecting every one of us. And there is a famous story of a devotee. His name was Arjunacharya. He was in South India, and he would read all 18 chapters every day of Bhagavad Gita. And it so happened that there was a famine in that village, and this person was not able to get anything for his family. So his wife, she came and she started shouting at him that you are just sitting here whole day and reading Bhagavad Gita. There is nothing to eat. Please go out and get something, beg something and get. Our children, they are starving. And Arjunacharya, he showed this verse, this Ananya Shintayanto Mam verse to his wife. His wife was so angry that she took one pencil and she scratched the verse 3 times, and in anger she went inside. So this Brahmana, he felt very sad, and then he went out for begging. And as he was out, 2 very, very beautiful children, they came to the house of this Brahmana, and they were carrying huge loads of grains. And they knocked on the door. This Brahmani came, and she was surprised to see such small, beautiful children, but they were carrying so heavy loads. So she asked, why are you carrying such a heavy load? So they told, your husband has sent us with all these things to deliver it to you. So she became all the more angry that my husband, how can be so cruel? He is putting such a heavy load on such small children. So she invited them inside, and she asked, just wait, I'll cook something, I'll give you. You must be hungry. So they said, we cannot eat. Our tongue is cut. And on top of that, your husband is waiting for us. So they ran away. So this Brahmani, she became more angry on her husband. So husband came back. And generally, Brahmani and any housewife, she first cooks and the husband eats and then she eats. But she became so angry, she cooked prasad and she ate. And then the Brahman came, and this Brahmana, he saw that, why she's in such a bad mood. So she explained the whole story. She said, that these 2 boys had come and you had given them such heavy loads. So, and he said, I didn't send anyone. So then he told, okay, you explain who all had come. So then this Brahmani started explaining. One person was a bluish complexion, and he was wearing a yellow garment, yellow silken dhoti. Other was white, he was wearing a blue dhoti. And then he realized, oh, they were Krishna and Balaram. They came themselves. And then they felt so very bad that Krishna and Balaram had to come to give them sufficient food. And then he asked, but did you give them something to eat? So she said, no, I asked, but they said, our tongue is cut. We cannot eat anything. So then he realized, oh, because you had marked the verse 3 times, therefore Bhagavad Gita is the tongue of God. The words are coming from the tongue of God. So therefore, they told that their tongue is cut. So they became very, very sad and they offered all the prayers, and both of them, they realized how Krishna is great. So therefore, we should know Krishna personally takes care of his devotees. And then, in the next verse, Krishna says, okay, Krishna is so merciful, but there are some who worship devatas, and but although they worship devatas, they do not get liberation. Although worship of the devata is mentioned in the scriptures, why do they not get liberation? Krishna said, yes, they do worship me, but they worship me in a wrong way. Avidhi purvakam. Ye apyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha. Tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. So Krishna is saying in this world, ye api anya devata bhakta. Those who are devotees of other demigods, yajante shraddhayanvita. They also worship me only with faith. Te api mam eva yajanti. They also worship me, but they worship me avidhi purvakam. They worship me in a wrong way. So this verse can be misinterpreted, to tell that all paths lead to same goal. You worship any devata, it is going to the same destination. But this is speaking the half truth. They remove the emphasis of the verse. The emphasis of the verse is yajanti avidhi purvakam. So Krishna is saying those who are worshippers of the devatas, they also worship me, but they worship me in a wrong way. And then Krishna will say why it is described that they worship him in a wrong way. It will be described in the next verse. So in this verse, we have to understand there are two things. Te api mam eva yajanti. Krishna is saying they worship me. And then next is, but they are yajanti avidhi purvakam. They are worshipping in a wrong way. So we have to understand that we don't have to take things out of context. Many times when the things are taken out of context, then they don't make any meaning, or they may mean completely different and opposite. So we have to understand Krishna wants to put emphasis on the avidhi purvakam, not mam eva yajanti. Because in previous verses also we have seen Krishna has thoroughly condemned demigod worshippers. In 7.23, Krishna has said, antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedasam. Those who are worshippers of the devatas, they are alpamedasam. They are less intelligent. So we have to understand when Krishna is saying te api mameva yajanti, that means in one sense, because these devatas are coming from me, therefore they are worshipping me only in indirect way. But the focus is on yajanti avidhi purvakam. So Prabhupada in the purport writes that the demigods, they are different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavatam also describes it is like chayeva karma sachiva. They are karma sachiva. They are the representatives in the administration of the Supreme Lord. So therefore, and again Prabhupada describes in the purport that these people, they are worshipping devatas. It is like offering bribe to the government officials. So if somebody is worshipping devatas, Prabhupada is very heavily saying it is like offering bribe to the government officials. So somebody may ask, but demigod worship is mentioned in the Vedas. So why is Prabhupada comparing it to bribery and calling it illegal? Why is all these things? So you have to understand, Prabhupada is describing this from the ultimate goal point of view. What is the ultimate goal of Bhagavad Gita? to surrender to Krishna. Manmana bhav mad bhakto. Anything less than that is not accepted in Bhagavad Gita point of view. That is not the ultimate goal of Bhagavad Gita. And that's why Prabhupada is calling them cheaters. They are cheating, they are bribing, they are doing illegal things if they are worshipping devatas. Similar thing was told by Narad Muni to Vyasadev. Although Vyasadev, he had written all the Vedas, all the scriptures for the welfare of people in general. Bhautikanam cha bhavanam shaktirasam cha tatkritam. For the bhautikanam bhavanam, for the welfare of the people in general. He has written all the Vedas, all the scriptures. But when Narad Muni came, he told, Jugupsitam dharma kritenu shashataha. Whatever you have done, O Vyasadev, is most abominable. Swabhavaraktasya mahan vyatikramaha. Because people are already interested in sense gratification and you have given them a bona fide way to enjoy life. So therefore, anything less than pure devotion is condemned in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma projita kaitava atra parmo. Bhagavatam rejects all the cheating type of religions. What are those cheating type of religions? Any religion which does not take one to Krishna is a cheating type of religion. Therefore, Krishna is saying that they are worshipping me in a wrong way. And then Krishna says that, what is unauthorized in this? You are saying avidhi purvakam, but Arjuna may think, what is unauthorized in this? So Krishna says, because they don't know me to be the Bhokta and Prabhu of all the yagyas, therefore it is unauthorized. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha na tumam abhijananti tatvena tasyavanti te. So Krishna is saying, I am the sarva yajnanam bhokta. I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices and I am the proprietor and the lord of all sacrifices. Na tumam abhijananti. Whoever does not know this, tatvena tasyavanti te, they fall down. Whoever does not know about Krishna, he falls down from the path of liberation. So ignorance of Krishna leads to fall down. Then after describing this, in the next verse, Krishna describes the destination of the demigod worshippers. And this is also a very famous verse where Krishna is saying there are different paths which are leading to different goals. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrata bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopimam. So here Krishna is saying yanti deva, those who worship the devatas, they go to the place abode of devatas. Pitrin yanti, those who are worshipping ancestors, they go to their abode, pitriloka. Those who are worshipping ghosts, they will attain their planets. Yanti madhyajinopimam, and those who are worshipping me, they'll come to me. So Prabhupada many times gives the example of different trains, they are going to different destination. If somebody catches a train going to Delhi and thinking that I'll go to Calcutta, it will not happen. So therefore, in this verse, Krishna is very, very clearly saying all paths does not lead to the same goal. There are different paths which lead to different goals. So if you analyze this verse, Krishna is talking about 4 types of worship, which is in the 3 modes and transcendence. Yanti deva vrata devan. Some people who are in the mode of goodness, they worship devatas. Pitri yanti pitri vrataha. Those who are in the mode of passion, they worship the ancestors because they want to enjoy. Bhutani yanti bhuteja. Some people worship the rakshasas, ghosts, pishacha. They are in the mode of ignorance. And yanti madhyajinopimam. Those who worship me, they come to me. This is beyond the modes. This is transcendental. So therefore, Krishna is describing all paths are leading to different goals. Then after describing this, he says, there are so many rules and regulations in the worship of demigods. In contrast to this, mine worship of me is very, very simple. And then he quotes a very famous verse and very beautiful verse where Krishna is showing it is so very simple to please him. Krishna is so hungry for reciprocation that he is not demanding big things. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyuparitam ashnami prayatatmanah. Krishna is saying patram, and if you understand, all these are in singular tense. Patram means one leaf, pushpam one flower, phalam one fruit, little water. Because Krishna is concerned, if I ask them so many things, they will not give. Itne sare phool do, itne sare phal. No, I am just satisfied by a very humble menial offering. But he uses one word twice in this verse. Anybody can find out? So this is bhakti. Yome bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uparitam. Whoever offers these things with devotion, I accept that devotion. So because Krishna is using this bhakti twice, this shows how Krishna is emphasizing on the mood of whatever is offered. Krishna is not in lack of anything. It is not that Krishna is in the spiritual world and घर का नौकर चला गया है, खाना बनाने के लिए कोई नहीं है. So अरे चलो material world से किसी को बुलाना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा advertisement करो, vacancy. So Krishna is not in lack of all these things. Krishna has Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambrama. Thousands of Lakshmis are eagerly waiting to serve him. Radharani has not repeated any dish twice. He has everything to the fullest. Still, Krishna is hungry for our devotion. He has everything except our devotion. He likes our devotion to be offered to him. Because in offering our devotion, we'll become most happy. So therefore, Krishna is saying, you offer me little fruit, one fruit. And we have heard this story of Krishna going to the home of Vidura. And Vidurani, she's into so much ecstasy. Instead of offering banana, she's offering the peels of banana, and Krishna is eating humbly that. Because Krishna is pleased by the devotion. One flower. Gajendra, he offered one flower to the Lord. And Lord became so eager that he came running. And it is described in the scriptures that, Lord Vishnu, he told his vehicle Garuda, fly faster, more faster. Although Garuda flies with the speed of wind, but still, Lord Vishnu is saying, fast, Garuda, fast. And Garuda could not match up with the expectations of Vishnu, and he fainted. So Krishna, what he did? Krishna, he put Garuda on his back and he started running towards Gajendra. And then it so happened, because Krishna is running so fast, his dhoti started becoming loose. So with one hand he is holding Garuda, other hand he is holding his dhoti. He is running. That's how Krishna is eager, even if somebody offers one flower with devotion. And that's how it is described that Krishna is pleased by devotion, not by the expression of devotion. Expression of devotion means if somebody is offering such a huge quantity of bhoga or big amount of donation, but if there is no bhakti element in that, then Krishna is not pleased by that. So in this verse, the emphasis is on bhakti and ashnami. Ashnami means I accept. Whatever devotees they offer, in whatever capacity they offer, Krishna accepts it. Krishna is not pleased by material qualities, he is pleased by devotion. And Rupa Goswami describes it very, very wonderfully in a verse. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimunama rupa adhikam kim tat sudamno dhanam vamshasko vidurasya yadavapate ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nach gunai bhakti priyo madhava. Vyadhasya, there is a dharma vyad, hunter. What was his qualification? Dhruvasya chavayo, what was the age of Dhruva? Just 5 years old boy. Vidya gajendrasya ka, what was the knowledge Gajendra has? He was an animal. Kubjaya kimunam rupa adhikam, what was the rupa, beauty of Kubja? She was an ugly lady. Kim tat sudamno dhanam, what was the wealth of Sudama? He had nothing. He brought just few palmfuls of chipped rice. Vamshasko vidurasya, What was the Vamsha of Vidura? He was son of a maid servant. Vamshasko Vidurasya Yadavapate Ugrasya Kim Paurusham. What was the power of and strength of Ugrasen? He was a very weak king. Bhaktya Tushyati Kevalam Nacha Gunai. Krishna is pleased only by devotion, not by any qualities. No material qualities can please the Lord because he has best of all the qualities. So therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport, who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfection of eternity, bliss and knowledge. Then somebody may say, okay, you are telling me twice, bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. What if I don't have pure devotion? अभी हमारे पास तो pure devotion है ही नहीं, दूर दूर तक दिख ही नहीं रहा है, शुद्ध भक्ति का कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा है. So what can I do? Krishna says, still you can offer. And then Krishna describes in the next words. Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Krishna is saying, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, yad ashnasi, whatever you eat, yat juhoshi, whatever you give away anyway. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya, whatever austerities you perform, O Arjuna, tat kurushva madarpanam, please do it as an offering to me. So Krishna is saying, those who cannot practice pure devotional service, they can do all these things very easily. They have to eat anyway. They have to do some service anyway. Do it as an offering to me. So Krishna is saying this is not ananya bhakti because Krishna has not used the word bhakti in this verse. Krishna is saying, whatever you have, you offer because the principle of offering is auspicious. If you offer Krishna something, it is auspicious. So here emphasis is on madarpanam. In the previous verse, emphasis was on bhakti and ashnami. In current verse, 27th verse, emphasis is on mad arpanam. So Krishna is saying, if you cannot offer devotion, you offer whatever you have. Whatever you have, you offer me. And Prabhupada writes that it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. That is the duty of every devotee. Then after this, Krishna describes, if you offer me, the result will be very, very auspicious. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanai Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. So Krishna is saying, if you offer whatever you have in this way, then what will be the result? Shubha Ashubha Phala. You will be freed, mokshase. You will be free from the results of all the auspicious and inauspicious acts. Karma bandhana mokshase. You will be free from the bondage of the work. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma, and your mind fixed in me, vimukto. You will be free from this material world. You will be liberated. And mamupaishyasi. You will attain me. So Krishna is saying, if you cannot offer with a pure heart, you offer to get a pure heart. So that's what Krishna is saying. If you cannot offer with a pure heart, whatever you have, you offer to get a pure heart. If you offer things to Krishna, then our heart becomes pure. And Prabhupada quotes this principle of Yukta Vairagya. Whatever you have, offer to Krishna. Engage everything in Krishna's service. And therefore, Prabhupada mentions that a devotee is interested only in serving Krishna. And then, next verse is the very, very sweetest emotion which Krishna is telling. Krishna is saying, I am equal to everyone, but specially inclined to a devotee. So in this slide, you can see there are 6 pictures I have put, upper 3 and the lower 3. So there is some difference between Krishna dealing with the upper 3 people, demons, and lower 3 category of people. So you all can think about it. I'll just come to it in a few seconds. So Krishna is saying, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to everyone. Name dveshyo asti na priyaha. I do not hate anyone, nor do I favor anyone. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, but those who worship me with devotion, mai te teshu chapyaham, they are in me and I am in them. So in two lines, it seems that Krishna is contradicting himself, but it is not like that. In the first two lines, Krishna is talking about his Paramatma feature. As Paramatma is there in everyone's heart, just observing the actions of living entities. Somebody has given a right answer about the pictures. Okay, I'll come to it. So in the upper two lines, first two lines, Krishna is telling his Paramatma feature, Upadrashta and Anumanta. And in the lower next two lines, last two lines, Krishna is talking about his Bhagwan aspect, which is a very, very intimate aspect. As Paramatma is Upadrashta and Anumanta, as Bhagwan, he personally guides the devotees. So Krishna is universally reciprocal. He allows everyone to love him and thereby benefit from his partiality. Krishna tells very clearly, I am partial to my devotees. But this opportunity to get my partial, reciprocation is available for everyone. Everyone can become devotee and get my personal attention. So that shows how Krishna is eager to reciprocate with his devotees. So Krishna is a partial God, although he is equal to everyone, but for sure, because Krishna is a person, and as person has feelings, Krishna also has feelings towards his devotees. And you can see in this picture, Krishna, when he was in Vrindavan, so many demons came to kill him and create devastation in Vrindavan. Putana, Shaktasur, Vatsasur, Trinavarta, Bakasur, Aghasur, so many demons came. And even before they could do something, they were killed. But there were three people who came and they did they created maximum problem in Vrindavan, but still they were saved. They were not killed. They were, exempted from this killing business. And these three were Kalia, Indra, and Brahmaji. Kalia, first I'll discuss Brahmaji and Indra. So Indra, he created maximum devastation. He tried to kill whole Vrindavan and all the Brajvasis. But still Krishna did not kill him. Why? Because he was a devotee of the Lord. Although he got intoxicated and forgot. Brahmaji, he took all the calves and he kept them away for a whole year. But still, Krishna did not punish him. He was a devotee. Although they were mixed devotees, they were not pure devotees. But even if somebody is practicing a mixed devotion, Krishna is favorable and partial to them. Apna devotee. And then, Krishna is very, very unique in his dealings. If somebody does a garbad, Krishna asks, "Kaun hai ye?" Somebody says, "Arey, devotee है प्रभु जी." भगवान devotee अपना, okay, अपना आदमी इसको साइड में लो, बाद में उसको डील करेंगे. And who was Kalia then? Kalia, he had contacts with devotees. His wives were devotees. So therefore, either you are a devotee or you are in contact with a devotee, you will be benefited. So therefore, Krishna is very, very partial. It is described in Bhagavatam. Swanam Paksha Poshanam. Krishna takes care of his own party properly. अपना आदमी है, इसको बाजू में लो, इसका बाद में ख्याल करेंगे, बाद में इससे निपटेंगे, because ये devotee है, गड़बड़ किया है ना, कोई बात नहीं, बाद में देखेंगे इसको. Therefore, Krishna is saying, I am equal, but I am specially inclined to my devotee. And then Krishna says, even if my devotee performs most abominable action, still I excuse him and he will very soon become a pure devotee again. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi sah. Apichet sudurachara. Achar means good action. Durachar means bad action. Sudurachar means most abominable action. Krishna is saying, apichet sudurachar, even if somebody commits most abominable action. But what is he doing? Bhajante, bhajate mam. Still, if he is engaged in devotional service with no desires than to please me. So you have to understand, when Krishna is talking about this durachari, who is this durachari? This person does not consciously and voluntarily plan to commit sinful activity. He is not a hypocrite. Krishna does not like hypocrite devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not like hypocrite devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is patit pavan, not kapat pavan. So this devotee, because of his conditionings, because of his past life anarthas, he is drawn and dragged down to commit some sinful activity. He's not willing, he's not voluntarily planning to do it, but he came under some circumstance where he was forced to commit a sinful activity. As Arjuna asked, Anichanna pivarshneya balad iva niyojitaha. इच्छा ना होते हुए भी बलपूर्वक वो पाप कर्म करता है. So that is what Krishna is talking about. Even if he does most abominable action, sadhureva samantavyah, he should be considered to be a saintly person. Samyak vyavasuto hi saha, because he is properly situated in his determination. So we have to understand this line properly. Samyak vyavasito hi saha. This devotee, he is properly situated in his determination. What is his determination? I have to practice bhakti. Although I fell down from the rules and regulations of bhakti, but still I'll not leave practice of devotion service. Many times the devotees, they have such a guilty consciousness. Oh, I cannot follow. I could not follow the rules and regulations. Even after hearing so many classes, I could not do it. What is the use of practicing? Let me give it up completely. No. Even if somebody falls down, Krishna is saying this person continues practicing bhakti with all determination. Therefore, in this verse, Krishna is showing how much compassionate he is. Krishna is not that type of God who is there ready to catch us when we are doing something wrong. Krishna is such type of God, he wants to focus on our good things. He focuses on what we do consistently, not what we do occasionally. Occasionally, we may fall down from our path. We may do some sinful activity. But Krishna is not that type of God. He is called Adoshadarshi. He is not interested in seeing faults in his devotees. So if Krishna is that type of God, what do you think he'll expect us to be? Many times we are more interested in finding faults even in devotees. And Krishna is not finding fault even in the most abominable devotee. And we should also follow the same principle. Don't try to find fault in devotees, try to find good in devotees. Therefore, Krishna says in the next verse, Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashya shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktah pranashyati. Shipram, very quickly he'll become dharmatma, very righteous. Shashwa shantim nigacchati, he will attain everlasting peace. Kaunteya pratijanihi, O Krishna, O Arjuna, declare it boldly. Name bhaktah pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. So this is how Krishna is so very merciful. Even if we want to go away from bhakti, Krishna will not allow us to go from bhakti. Krishna is such a person. He thinks, okay, this person is foolish, I am not foolish. Krishna kahe ama bhaje mage vishay sukh amrit chadi vishay mage ei bada murkh. Krishna is saying he is doing my bhajan, and what he is asking for? He is asking for material, abominable sense gratification. Ei bada murkh, he is foolish. Ami bigyai murkha vishay ke na diba swacharna mrit diya vishay bulaiba. Okay, he is foolish. I am not a fool. I am intelligent. I will not give him this abominable sense gratification. I will give him taste for bhakti. He will forget all that sense gratification. So that is how Krishna is saying. very quickly he'll become righteous, So Chakravarti Pad gives a very interesting commentary behind this verse. He says, Arjuna is thinking, okay, if he becomes, righteous in this life, किसी ने गलत किया और यही लाइफ में सुधर गया, then you can tell them, okay, ये धर्मात्मा है. What if a devotee is sinful right up till his death? What is his position then? Krishna says, O son of Kunti, my devotee is not destroyed even in that condition. At the time of death also he will not fall down. Arjuna may say, but the arguers, they will not agree to whatever you are saying. They will not respect this opinion of yours. So hearing this, Krishna becomes angry. And he says, oh Arjuna, you go to the assembly of these type of people and with your hands raised, you declare boldly. In the village, in the olden times, if the Raja king has to do some announcement, so he would send his people and they would, go in the middle of the city and they, with all the nagada and drum, and they will say, Suno, 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 Raja ka hi aadesh hai. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you do this, declare it boldly. So Arjuna said, what should I declare? So Krishna is saying, declare that my devotee will never perish. But Arjuna may say, अरे बाबा आप खुद भी बोल सकते हैं. Why you are telling me not to declare this? So Krishna is saying, yes, sorry. Krishna is saying, if you declare, I will be bound to fulfill the desires and words of my devotee. But as far as I am concerned, I can break my vows to fulfill the words of my devotee. And we know the story of how Krishna lifted this wheel of a chariot when Bhishma he took a vow. I will either I'll kill all the Pandavas or Krishna will have to lift a weapon. So Krishna is saying, I may break my vows, but if my devotee makes a vow and declaration, then I'll have to, follow that declaration. So somebody asked, what is this picture? So this is the picture of Indra. One time he got attracted by Ahilya, and he took a form of this rishi, Kashyap Rishi, I think. I forgot the Rishi, I think. Okay, I'm not remembering the name of that Rishi, the husband of Ahilya. And he enjoyed with Ahilya. So then by that time, Gautam Rishi, yes. So Gautam Rishi, he was the husband of the Ahilya. So then Ahilya, although she enjoyed with Indra, and Indra, as he was going away from the kutia of Gautam Rishi came, and then Gautam Rishi cursed Indra that you are so absorbed and attracted by lust, your whole body will covered with female reproductive organs. That's how he was cursed. But because he was repentant, so all that transformed into thousands of eyes. So that's how a devotee may commit some sinful activity, but because he is a devotee of the Lord, very soon he'll be purified of all the sinful activities. So this is how Krishna is talking in these two verses about some incidental fault. Sometime by mistake somebody may do some, because of the previous conditionings, he may fall down from the general standards of bhakti. In the next verse, Krishna is saying the bhakti process does not consider even if there are some inherent faults in a person. What are those inherent faults? The faults which are arising because of the position in the society, in the particular ashram, by the birth. So therefore Krishna is saying even most sinful people can also get delivered. Mam hi partha vipashritya yepi supapayonayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudra tepi yanti param gatim. So Krishna is saying, Mami Partha, O Partha, those who take shelter of me, although they may be of the lower birth, Striyo, Vaishya, Satha, Shudra, they also attain the supreme destination. So even if somebody is born in a lower family, he can also get delivered. As Kunti Maharani also, she says that, oh my Lord, Katham Pashyem hi Striya, how can I know you? Because I am a woman. So we have to understand when Krishna is talking about Striya, he is talking about general principle. As a whole, a male body is more suitable for self-realization than female body because they are more analytical and more philosophical. As a female, it is not. It is a the body is made like that. That is a psychophysical nature of a woman. They are more emotional and sentimental. So therefore, Prabhupada says that when somebody starts practicing Krishna consciousness, they become equal to men. So we should know that once they start off, the starting point does not matter. Therefore, many times female disciples of Prabhupada, they would go to Prabhupada and they would say, Swami Prabhupada, all these, we have heard that these sannyasis, they are saying, women, they are a low class, they have less brain. Prabhupada would say, all my female disciples, they have more brain than all the sannyasis also. Because whoever starts practicing bhakti, this bodily identification goes away. All the faults which are coming from this body goes away. So this is a very long topic. We'll not spend time on this. Then he says, if these people who are from low birth, they are also qualified, what to speak of those who are qualified to practice? He says, Kim Punar Brahmana Punya, what to speak of the great rishis, Raja rishis, Brahmanas? What do they attain? Anityam Asukham Lokam, they attain my abode, which is Anitya, which is permanent. Anityam, they give away, they leave this Anitya and Asukham Loka, this temporary and a place full of misery, and they attain my abode. Imam Prapya Bhajassumam, they attain my abode, O Arjuna. So therefore, we have to understand. So Krishna is saying, for example, there is a coaching class, and the coaching class says that, we can make even a dropout from a college a topper in our institution. So that is what Krishna is saying. Even people who are sinful, they can also attain highest destination. So what to speak of the toppers? What is their destination? They will prosper even more. And then in the last verse of this 9th chapter, Krishna is talking about very, very intimate dealings with his devotees. Krishna is saying, Manamana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaevam atmanam mat parayanah. So as you can see in the slide, this is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. So Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the scriptures. Essence of Bhagavad Gita is the middle 6 chapters. Essence of the middle 6 chapters is the 9th chapter. And essence of the 9th chapter is this verse. So therefore it is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. So Krishna is ending this chapter with Bhajaswa Mam. He told this in the 9.33. Imam Prapya Bhajaswa Mam. And how to do that bhajan, he describes in this last verse. Manmana bhava, always engage your mind in thinking about me. Bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisances unto me. Mam evaishyasi, you will come to me. Yuktvaevam, because you will be completely absorbed in the thoughts of me, you will come to me. Atmanam mat parayanaha. So we have to understand this verse. Krishna is talking about 3 of our bodily faculties to be engaged in his service. First is manmana. He's telling, engage your mind in me. Always think about me. Bhava mad bhakto. This is referring to offering our soul to Krishna. Manmana means offer your mind to me. Bhava mad bhakto, offer your soul to me. And madhyaji mam namaskuru, offer your gross body also. Worship me, offer obeisances to me. In this way, surely you will come to me. So Krishna is saying, engage your mind, body and soul. All these 3 faculties should be engaged in worshipping, serving me. In this way, you will come to me for sure. So this is the end of this chapter. So in short, we'll see what is the glorious what are the glories of bhakti? Krishna has described in this 9th chapter, which Prabhupada has entitled as the most confidential knowledge. So before 9.22, Krishna has described his Aishwarya Gyan. He has described out Mayavadis, Devata worshippers, Brahmavadis, Vishwarup Upasakas, so many things he has described. 9.22, Krishna says, I protect my devotees. Then he says, anybody can worship me. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. It does not require possessions. It does not require any qualification. Anybody can worship me. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Whatever you have, you offer to me. Then Krishna says, even if somebody gets deviated, he very quickly comes back to the path and becomes a pure devotee. And then he says, material qualifications are not an impediment in the path of bhakti. And then the result is destination will be Mame Vaishyasi Satyam. He will come to me for sure. So this is the 9th chapter, which is the most confidential knowledge. And now we'll go to the 10th chapter, where Krishna starts this chapter, without Arjuna asking any question. So this happened in the 7th chapter also. So we'll see the link connection between the 9th chapter and the 10th chapter. So Krishna has ended 9th chapter with this verse, Manmanabhav Madbhakto. Now Krishna describes the Lord's opulence on which a devotee can fix his mind and always remember him. So Krishna is saying, remember me always. How should I remember you? Krishna is describing in this verse, in this chapter. And then in chapter 9, Krishna has said, you have to become a pure devotee. So Krishna describes this 10th chapter, where he will give this most confidential knowledge again in the form of Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, so that our devotion will increase. So the 9th chapter described about Madhurya Gyan, the sweetness of the Lord, the sweet dealings of the Lord with his devotees. 10th chapter will describe the Aishwarya of the Lord, the greatness of the Lord. Because when the Aishwarya and Madhurya both are combined, then the relation becomes much more strong and sweet. So therefore, we'll start this chapter. So Lord Krishna starts this chapter telling that, this knowledge which I am going to give you is the most confidential knowledge. Again, Krishna is saying, Bhuya eva mahabaho shinu me paramam vachah yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya. Bhuya, O Arjuna, again, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed Arjuna, again I am going to explain you. Shrinu me, please hear, listen. So 7th chapter also he had said the same thing. Shrinu, tashrinu, maya saktamana partha yogam yunjanmadashraya asamshayam samagram mam yatha agyasyasi tashrinu. Just hear about my glories. Again Krishna is saying here, Shrinu me paramam vachah. Just hear this paramam vachaha, this knowledge which I am going to give you. It is the highest of all the knowledge. Yatteham priyamanaya. This is a very sweet way, Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Arjuna, why I am giving you this knowledge? Because you are priyamanaya. You are my dear friend. Vakshyami hitakamyaya. And because I want your welfare, O Arjun. Because you are my devotee, you are my friend. Therefore, I am giving you this most wonderful knowledge. So, Paramam Vachaha. Paramam Vacha means supreme knowledge, that is the knowledge of bhakti. So, therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport that the more he focuses on this word Shrinu, he says the more one hears about the Lord, the more one becomes fixed in the process of devotional service. Therefore, one should always hear in association of devotees. Satam prasangan mamavirya samvido bhavantirit karna rasayana katha tadajoshanada shopavarga vartmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishati. Bhagavatam describes Satam prasangan, be in association of my devotees, and in association of my devotees, what you should do? Mam virya samvido, just hear about my pastimes. My glorious pastime should be heard in association of devotees. Rit karna rasayana, Drink this nectar of Krishna Katha through your ears. And the result will be Shraddha, Rati, Bhakti, Anukramishyati. Your faith, your attraction, and your devotion will increase. So therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport that discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those, a very important line Prabhupada writes, discourses in the society of devotees can take place only amongst those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand and we have to contemplate how often are we conscious and anxious to hear about Krishna. Krishna Prabhupada is writing, those who are really anxious. So we have to be anxious about hearing Krishna, about Krishna. We have to be anxious. Am I becoming Krishna conscious? Am I coming closer to Krishna? We have to be anxious. And then Krishna says, he describes his opulence, his powerful and his all-pervading nature. Name vidus surgana prabhavam na maharshayah ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. So Krishna is saying, Name viduh surgana. Nobody, even the devatas, even the great sages, they know my origin and they know my opulences. Nobody knows me, my origin and my opulences, because ahamadirhi devanam, I am the source of the devatas, maharshinam cha sarvashah, and I am the source of the sages also. So therefore Krishna is saying I am the oldest. In 8.8 Krishna has described Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram. Paramatma, Supreme Lord, is the oldest. So here again Krishna is saying I am the oldest. I am beyond everything. Nobody knows me. Even Bhagavatam describes, Prabhupada writes in the purport, he quotes 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Indra, Brahmaji, all these great devatas, they were bewildered. Nobody can know Krishna to be full. In the first verse of Bhagavatam also describes Muhyanti at Surya. The great demigods are also bewildered in understanding of the power of Krishna. So therefore in this verse Krishna is saying, no one knows me. And then after this Krishna says, but no one knows me, but if you know me, even if little, you know me, there are so many benefits. What are the benefits one gets by knowing Krishna? Yo mamajamanadim cha vetti loka maheshwaram asammudah samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. So Krishna is saying, Yo mam ajam anadim cha vetti. So whoever knows me to be unborn and beginningless. Ajam and anadim. Unborn and beginningless. Arjuna may think, but soul is also unborn. Soul is also beginningless. Krishna immediately says, I am Lok Maheshwaram. I am the Supreme Lord of all the worlds. Whoever knows me as unborn, beginningless, and Supreme Lord of all the worlds, what happens to him? Asammudasamartyeshu, he remains undeluded. Sarva papai pramuchyate, and he becomes free from all the sinful reactions. So therefore, material desires causes contamination in our heart. The more we know about Krishna, the more we get purified. Pravishtakarna ranrena swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam Krishna salilasya sharat. The more we pravishta, the more the sound vibration enters our ears and resides in the flower of our heart. Swanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam. All the contaminations in the heart will be destroyed. So therefore Krishna is saying, whoever knows me in this way, he becomes purified of all the sins. And then after this, and Prabhupada in the purport, he talks about real auspiciousness. He says, real auspicious, everything is inauspicious in this world because the very nature of this material world is inauspicious. But real auspiciousness depends on the activities in Krishna consciousness, in full devotion and service. So if you want to make our life auspicious, sarva papai pramuchyate. If you want to become free from sins, then we have to practice devotion unto Krishna. Now, after describing this, Krishna describes about himself more, where he says that various qualities and various personalities, they come from him. So in the fourth verse, he describes so many qualities. Buddhir jnanam sammoha shama satyam damasama. All these qualities, they come from him only. Fourth and fifth. Then after this, in the sixth verse, Krishna says, these qualities, they come from me. But there are people, all the people in the entire creation, they also come from me only. Maharshaya Saptapurve, all the great seven sages, Saptarishi, Chatvaro Manavastatha, and the four other great sages, the Manus, everybody, they come from me. So Krishna, Prabhupada writes in the purport, Lord is giving a genealogical synopsis of the universal population. And you can see in this slide, this shows how everything in this entire material creation is coming from Krishna. From Krishna, Brahmaji comes, then the Rudra comes, then from Brahmaji, 4 Kumaras come, and then from Brahmaji, 7 sages come, and then the Manu comes, and then 10 daughters of the Manus, and then they create and fill entire universe. So that's how Krishna says, I am the source of all the qualities and source of all the personalities also. Then he says, whoever knows this, what will be the result? Whoever knows all these vibhutis, who has the knowledge of all this, what is the result? The result is described in 7th verse. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tattvataha sovikalpena yogena yujyatena atra samshaya. So Krishna is saying, whoever knows about my qualities, my power, my opulences, you fall in love with that person who has name, fame, prestige, power, wealth. At the same time, he is most loving. So Krishna is saying, nobody can stop loving me after knowing about me. So avikalpena yogena, they engage in unalloyed devotional service. There is no doubt in this, Arjuna. That is the nature of Krishna. He is all attractive. That is the nature of Krishna. Then after this, Krishna, he discusses about this knowledge in more detail by describing this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, which describes the essence of all the scriptures. So we'll take this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita and then we'll stop here to continue tomorrow. So in this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, Chatushloki means there are 4 verses, and we'll see what these 4 verses they are conveying. Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita means these 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita, they are considered to be the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. So we'll see in 3 different ways how this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita summarizes the whole Bhagavad Gita. So in 10.8, Krishna summarizes his opulences and he gives the result of truly knowing his opulences. And what is that result? He says that one becomes a pure devotee. And we'll discuss one by one all this. I'm just giving a gist of what we are going to discuss in these 4 verses. 10.9, which is described Machitta Madgata Prana, describes that how a devotee worships him. And then 10.10 and 11, Krishna is saying, devotee, how in 10.8 he has given his knowledge. 10.9 he has told how his devotee worships him. And then 10.10 and 11, Krishna says how he reciprocates to the worship of his devotees. And then another way of understanding these 4 verses is in 10.8 Krishna is giving the summary, and 10.9, 10 and 11 he is elaborating that verse. So basically 10.8 Krishna is saying aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitah. So there Krishna is saying those who know me, they become enlightened and they become devoted. So that is 10.8. Those who worship him, they become enlightened and they become devoted. 10.9 Krishna says how they become devoted. 10.10 and 11, Krishna will describe how they become enlightened. So this is another way of understanding this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Another way of understanding this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita is to understand in terms of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan. As Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, Veda Shastra ka Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojan, Krishna Prapya Sambandha Bhakti Praptyera Sadhan. So all the essence of scriptures can be, condensed into three topics: Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan. Sambandha means developing our relationship with the Lord. Abhidheya means the process. Sambandha means the knowledge of our relationship with the Lord. Abhidheya means the process to develop our relationship with the Lord. And Prayojan means the result which we will obtain after developing our relationship with the Lord. So 10.8 describes all these three. Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojan. Everything is described in 10.8. 10.9 describes Abhidheya and Prayojan. And 10.10 to 11 describes Abhidheya. So don't get bewildered getting all these details. So I think we'll stop here and we'll continue from this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So if anybody has any questions, they can put on the chat. I think there were few questions. In verse 32, the Lord does not say Mam, but he says Param Gatim. I'll just see the 32nd verse. Yanti Param Gatim is so Krishna has described in whole 9th chapter and previously also, he has described very clearly that the abode which is described here, that is my abode. So Mam and Param Gatim, that is my abode only. So therefore Krishna is not mentioning this word Mam. So Param Gati means my abode. So that is same. So kindly throw some light on hypocrisy in devotion. So hypocrisy in devotion means we are practicing devotion service, not with a view of serving Krishna, but we want something else by this service. We are not pure in our intentions, but we are posing that I am pure. So if somebody is not a pure devotee, you should not pose to be a pure devotee. Everybody is at a different level of devotion. If we have all our desires still remaining in our heart, and when we come in front of devotees, we are posing as if we have no desires, we have transcended all desires. That is hypocrisy. So Krishna does not like hypocrisy. Krishna likes simple surrender. Whatever little sincerity we have, we should offer it to Krishna. We should go in front of the devotees and in front of the Lord. Oh my Lord, I am like this, but I want to purify myself. I want to become better. That is sincerity. But if we have something in our heart and we are posing something else, that is called mithyachara, as we have discussed in the 3rd chapter. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya rabate Arjuna. And before that, the word says mithyachara sa uchyate. So 3.6, Krishna has described who is a mithyachari. I'll just go to the 3.6 verse. Karmendriyani sanyamya yasate manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyachara suchyate. So karmendriyani sanyamya, externally he is controlling his actions, but in the mind he is contemplating how to enjoy. That is hypocrisy, that is mithyachara. So as devotees, we should not become a mithyachari. We should try to become sincere devotees of the Lord. That pleases Krishna. Somebody has asked, what is Brihad Bhagavatam? Brihad Bhagavatam is the So just like in Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by Shringi to die in 7 days by the bite of Takshaka. So he went on the bank of the Ganga and he heard whole Bhagavatam from Parikshit Maharaj, from Shukdev Goswami. And then Parikshit Maharaj completed whole Bhagavatam and there was still some time left. Not all 7 days were not over. There are some part of the seventh day was still remaining. Shukdev Goswami left. And then Uttara came. She wanted to hear what Parikshit Maharaj heard from Shukdev Goswami. So Shukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj in synopsis, in brief, he described what he heard from Shukdev Goswami. And he told the essence of whatever he heard from Shukdev Goswami in the form of a story. And that is described in Brihad Bhagavatam. Prabhuji, can you only put up Krishna existence chart in 10.127? I'm not able to understand the question. Krishna existence chart in 10.127 means. Okay, I'll go to the next question. Prabhuji, can you please explain 9.30? 9.30 is a very interesting. I heard explained in a very detailed way, but still I'll try to explain it again. So in this verse, Krishna is saying, Api chet suduracharo. Even if somebody is committing a most abominable action, but still that action is not committed voluntarily by being planned. He did not plan to commit a sinful activity, but he was overpowered by his conditionings and anarthas when he was faced with some distractions. Some temptations came in, just like if somebody is a drunkard and is trying to come out of this drinking business, and then as he's walking by one day, he passes by a liquor bar and he sees, oh, I'm trying to give up this drinking business, but I think it seems that there is a new brand of liquor which has come. And then one other friend of his comes out of this liquor bar and says, "Arey, bahut acha hai, maza aaya." So he, because of his previous conditionings and all these experiences, he will be dragged to drink liquor again. So this devotee, he did not plan to commit any sinful activity, but it was involuntarily because of his anarthas, by his conditionings. Bhajate mam ananya bhak. But his focus is, I want to practice bhakti. I will not give up bhakti. Whatever may happen, I will continue practice of devotional service. गिरते पड़ते भक्ति करते रहूंगा मैं. कोई कुछ भी बोले, कितना भी गाली दे, but I know only bhakti can save me, only Krishna can save me. Krishna is saying that person should be considered to be sadhu. If somebody is, and Prabhupada in detail writes in the purport, if somebody is deriding such type of devotee, if somebody is offending such devotee, seeing his incidental fall down, that devotee will become pure devotee who had fallen down. But the person who has offended this devotee because of his incidental fall down, he will not be able to practice bhakti. So we have to see every devotee with a very, very compassionate view. So therefore Prabhupada writes in the purport, the sadhur eva is very important. Mantavya is very important. Therefore we have to understand, if Krishna is not judgmental, then who are we to judge devotees? He is so compassionate, then who are we to be cruel with devotees? We may fall down, but we don't have to fall away from Krishna. We may fall down from the path of Krishna consciousness, but we don't have to go away from Krishna because of our anarthas, because of our conditionings. That's what Krishna is saying in this verse. Why Krishna restrains mentioning Radharani or his spiritual energies in Bhagavad Gita? We have to understand the setting where Bhagavad Gita was being spoken. It was a war field. It was an emergency situation. And Just like Shukdev Goswami did not mention the name of Radharani in the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna also restrained, because if Krishna starts taking the name of Radharani, and if he goes off track, because when Radharani comes, the name of Radharani also attracts Krishna, Madan Mohan Mohini. So the flow of Bhagavad Gita may get disturbed. So that may be the reason Krishna never mentioned the name of Radharani directly in Bhagavad Gita. How can we practice offering our work to Krishna, as Shloka 27 says, Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi? So we have to understand that whatever we are doing, so this Krishna consciousness, in this word consciousness, is very, very important. Our motivation is very, very important. Why we are doing what we are doing. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. So this Krishna Bhavanamrit Sangha, in that this Bhavana word is very important. Our motivations are playing a crucial role in our connection with Krishna. As Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami describes the feelings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anner Hriday Mon Moraban Vrindavan Mane Vane Ek Kori Jani. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, for others, their heart and their mind, they are different. But for me, my mind and Vrindavan, they are same. Vrindavan is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. We may be in the middle of a battlefield. Just like in the hospitals now, it is a battlefield. For doctors, it is really a battlefield. War is going on. In the middle of so many problems, if we begin our day with solid practice of devotion, praying to Krishna, oh Krishna, as I am going in the field, in the workplace, please show mercy so that in whatever circumstances, I may be able to remember you. And with that service, with that work, I'll have to maintain my family and I have to serve the citizens. But why I'm doing it? So that my family may become devotee, and by my service, I will serve these citizens, because these are also children of God. So our consciousness should be always connecting to Krishna. Why am I serving all these people? Because they are also children of God. I have to serve them properly. Therefore, Krishna says, Prabhupada would always say, only thing which is lacking in this world is Krishna consciousness. If everybody thinks that all these people, they are children of God, nobody will trouble others. Everybody will take care of others. Nobody will steal. And as Krishna, as Ishopanishad says, Ishavasyamidam sarvam. Nobody will take others' property. So that should be our consciousness. We should connect everything to Krishna. Why I am taking care of my family? So that these people, these family members of mine, they will also become devotees. And because they are also children of God, if I serve them properly, they may come closer to Krishna. So this should be, and there are many more things which can be spoken. So this is the gist of Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi Yat Jihoshi Dadasiyat. Those who are serving personalities like mother and grandfathers, where did they go? ये लोग जहाँ पे गए होंगे, like निर्मल बाबा, बाबा राम रहीम, जहाँ पे ये लोग गए होंगे, वहाँ पे इनके followers भी गए होंगे. If they went to hell, all their followers will go to hell. And I am sure they didn't go to heaven. By all their acts, they will not go. So it is not sure where they will go, but where they will not go, that is sure. They will not go to the place of Krishna. Yeah, somebody else. If somebody is chanting Lord Ram's name, but goal is to become one with God or God himself, is this Mayavad or Brahmavad? So if he wants to become one God himself, that is Mayavad. And if he wants to merge in the body of the Lord, thinking that I accept the form of the Lord Ram, but I want to merge in the impersonal Brahman feature of that Lord Ram, then it is Brahmavad. So we have So these sentiments, these Mayavad and Brahmavad, it is very, very difficult to understand many times. So basic principle we have to be very, very clear with. What is Brahmavad and what is Mayavad? A Brahmavadi will never reject the form of the Lord. He accepts that Lord has a form, but he is interested in impersonal feature of the Lord. Brahma and Mayavadi rejects the form of the Lord. They say, I am also Bhagavan. Tat tvam asi, aham brahmasmi. These are the things, these are the Vedantic statements which they, manipulate. I am also that. I can also become Bhagavan, Brahman. So that is Mayavad. So if somebody is just thinking about Lord Ram, chanting the names of Lord Ram, but he wants to become Lord Ram, that is complete pure Mayavad. Is demigod its assistants who comes on somebody's body and people who worship them is true. Okay, all these people who are possessed by ghostly beings. See, they may be pretending or it may be true also. The ghosts are there and the ghosts overpower and they enter the body of other people, that is also true. But in today's context, how much these people who are showing these expressions, is it true or faking, that that has to be judged from person to person basis. So the principle is very clear that the ghosts exist and ghosts can overpower and enter the body of other people, that is also true. And there are many places even in current India where these type of ghostly beings are taken out of the bodies of the people. So that is there. Can you please share the slide of Krishna is the origin of all? Okay, I'll share the slide. Only white portion of the chart. Okay. Can you repeat the link between the 9th and the 10th chapter? So 9th chapter, Krishna has ended this chapter with Manmanabha Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So Krishna has said, engage your mind in me, thinking about me, worshipping me. So now in the 10th chapter, Krishna describes in more detail how a devotee can think about him. So there he will describe in the 10th chapter how a devotee can see in every aspect of this creation to be a manifestation of Krishna's power, Krishna's opulence. So that is how Krishna will describe this 10th chapter. Relate everything to Krishna, connect everything to Krishna. Like that. So somebody asked why in 10.39.32, why Striyo Vaishya Sada Shudra women are said to be of the lower birth. So therefore again I'll explain. Within the human form, based on the suitability to practice spirituality, there are gradations. In human form, although human form is very rare. Nridehamadyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karna dhanam. It is very, very rare opportunity to attain human form. In this human form, based on the suitability to practice spirituality, even in these humans, there are some species which are more suitable for the practice of spirituality. And when you compare a male body to a female body, see, the soul is same. But when the soul is put in a particular type of body, the body, because of a certain psychophysical nature, there are some differences between male and female. So when we compare a male body and a female body, male are more rational, female are more sentimental and emotional. That is there everywhere. So therefore, it is by default, male and people in the male body can rationally think about the nature of this material world. They are more rational, and there are less chances that the females, they will think in a similar way. So because the bodily identification, identifying with the body is more in the female body than in the male body. So therefore, we all have our starting points. Starting point is different for everyone. But we should understand, after we start off, the starting point does not make any difference. So in this verse, Krishna is not teaching discrimination. I am discriminating people. Actually, he is teaching something that will end discrimination. So Krishna is saying, by practice of bhakti, you will actually become equal. That's why Prabhupada would always, tell all his female disciples. None of the female disciples ever opposed Prabhupada, because Prabhupada, he always told them that by coming to Krishna consciousness, everybody has an equal opportunity to experience and realize Krishna. But on as a complete view, it is seen that in the female body there are less chances to be rational. But in some place in this verse in Bhagavatam, where Kunti Maharani is saying, Tatha Paramhamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yogam Vidanartham Katham Pashyam Hi Striya. How can I know you? I am a Stri, I am a woman. There Prabhupada writes, we see in any spiritual program, there are more women than men. Therefore, as a class, women have more potential to become pure devotees and perfect their lives, because they are more inclined towards Krishna consciousness, because they are more emotional. Their emotions can be easily, dovetailed in connecting to Krishna. So that is the benefit the ladies have. And in the male body, we may not cry for Krishna, tears may not come. It is very difficult for a man to cry. But females can easily cry with their heart for Krishna. So that is a benefit they have. I'm not sure about Jainism. Somebody has asked, only males get mukti, females need one more birth. I'm not sure about it. Maybe we can discuss personally. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.